Let's get into some brolic masculine sex. We're not talking unisex here, we're talking about man's man, masculinity, bold, testosterone-driven sense. I feel like E from Simply Put Sense. Shout out to E, bro, that's the homie.
I'm E and this is Simply Put Sense.
But in going through my collection, I was like, yo, if I was gonna recommend somebody some ultra masculine scents, I mean grit. When I think of man scents, I think of tobacco, booze, gun slinging, leather wearing, big truck driving, multiple wives having. What?
That's marriage.
I mean, that's what a man's man is. At least it was in the 80s. Nowadays, I mean, shit's different. But I think I've put together a pretty solid list of masculine scents that you should definitely be testing out to see if it boosts your testosterone levels before you having to inject yourself in your tush. Let's roll my music so I can put you on to 8 fantastical, super masculine scents that you need to try.
We're all alone. Yeah, that's a friend from the south side. In case you cared, out of all your friends, I want to be Cuba.
Blessed morning, my beautiful peoples. You know who it is. This is your boy, C to the U to the B to the A. The first fragrance I'm gonna start off with, I can't wear it all year round. This is like certain fits, certain situations that I really wanna show up and show out. For me personally, I think it's one of the best fragrances in his lineup. He was able to harness the masculinity, the amazing leather, the incredible tobacco notes. It's got all the old school energy that you were looking for. If you were, let's say for example, going through a vintage shop and picking out that fire distressed leather jacket with that biker essence, still the smell of Marlboro Reds on it. This scent gives you that type of energy, and that's Xerjoff Leather Tobacco. Straight up one of the craziest ones in the Xerjoff lineup to me. I mean, he killed this shit to the 20th power. Ultra masculine, diesel, doesn't have that versatility factor that I would feel unless you are that dude. Sons of Anarchy has taken over your life and you're now on a Harley on a daily basis with assless chaps. If that's you, then this screams your name. The name Leather Tobacco should absolutely give you the perfect interpretation of what's in this scent. Leather tobacco, and of the highest quality, ridiculously amazing, priced competitively, and is no slouch on performance. This for me is a fragrance that 2 to 3 sprays, I'm chilling. There's not a, let me bathe myself. I'm not that type of dude, nor do I want to be that obnoxious when I walk into a place, but this is old school bar around the corner. They used to sell crack, do coke off the tables, drink well vodka. Happy hours came with pickleback shots. This is the type of energy that old school masculinity vibes Xerjoff's Leather Tobacco absolutely has, and you are depriving yourself if you haven't tried this gem. Next one. Now let's go to the crazy niche and a fragrance that nobody else would ever put in their list because they either don't have it or they maybe forgot about it because their collection is too crazy. Santal Royale by Guerlain. Sweet Jesus. Talk about classic man. Remember that song? I'm a classic man. The rose here, amazing. The Santal woody essence here, fantastic. You smell of luxury. This is an older gentleman. You got a little salt and pepper vibes. You were never the type to respond to the yo! No, that's not you. You don't drive, you get driven. You don't punch in, you do the punching. And you don't do the fucking, you get, you know what I'm saying?
We are gonna bang.
This fragrance is an extraordinarily classic rose oud with a beautiful cinnamon punch. The cinnamon here really complements and works perfectly with that rose oud, just adding that little element of spice, that little energetic lift. And although you have such dark resinous features in this fragrance, there are hints of brightness, adding an amazing versatility to your refined ensemble. This is gentleman classiness to the 3rd power. No individual, no thug, no disgusting hood rat that's wearing a white hooded Nike t-shirt with a trucker hat should ever be caught wearing this type of scent. Those people are trash.
I heard you were talking shit about me.
Yeah, this is crazy masculine, absolutely fantastical. You need to test it out. Next one. I'm so happy I finally got a full bottle of this pure man's man boozy DUI in a bottle scent. Unique Luxuries Q-Tay. I've used minimal quantities of this joint because again, this lives in the 2 to 3 sprays. Chill. Who's driving the car? Am I driving? Chill. I'll spray it when I get to the spot. Let's go, bro. Just sweet, delicious booze. And in the air right now, and I don't know if I've ever said this or picked this up before, but I'm getting a little bit of a cider essence, like sparkling cider. I'm getting caramel, sparkling cider, whiskey, sweet, airy, and fizziness. Where the hell did that sparkling cider come from? Did this shit just macerate even more on my... I'm almost getting goosebumps with this shit. This thing is fucking amazing. Green, sparkling, herbal, sweet, sexy, dark booze.com. How are you not going to scream masculinity when you're walking around smelling like a drunk hobo? Talk to me. So you're not just smelling amazing. It's gonna last all day. We're talking 10+ hours minimum. I don't care how many sprays you do. This for me is like the gold standard in the unique luxury lineup. So if you want ultra masculine smelling whiskey cowboy boot wearing yeehaw motherfuckers, this is the shit you want to try, fam. Next one. And as a man's man, a real cowboy, you gotta be on some Arabian Tonka vibes, huh? Diesel, musk, and Tonka. When it comes to Montal, name a fragrance that doesn't perform well. I'll wait. Rare. Sweet, sugary, sexy, beast mode, OD darkness with a little bit of a rose element, but it's all dark, ultra rich. Another one in the space. I should have just called this the 3 fragrance max list, because you just gotta be easy with the trigger with these fragrances, but they are very masculine, ultra unique, super sexy, and beautifully balanced. I mean, sweet, dark, oud, rose, saffron, bergamot. Darkness and lightness combined to create a gorgerific scent profile at a great price point that just screams masculinity, so why not? Next one. This is a smoky designer scent that I feel Gucci got right, and that's Gucci Intense Oud. Cool cap, great scent. Definitely more mature than most of the Gucci lineup because they all seem to go for that kind of F-boy-ish type energy. But this one I feel is one of the more mature, sexy, bolder, deeper, masculine scents in their lineup. An incredibly wearable oud. Obviously it's not a real deal Holyfield oud, but it's a designer-esque oud that is super rich and sexy. For some reason, they figured out a way to bring in leathery smoke sweetness with a gorgeous, perfectly sugary amber essence, yet add a little bit of a out of the shower fresh element. Also up there with one of the Gucci fragrances that performs incredibly well. I'm talking about 9+ hours off of my skin. Beautiful scent profile. For a dark fragrance, this one can be a signature scent. I've pulled this off in the summertime and it hasn't been offensive. Again, the oud here is not one of those beast animalic fecal ouds that really become very dense on the skin. That soapy, out of the shower, body wash kind of energy really adds an element of versatility throughout the year. So if you're looking for a really nice masculine scent profile that dudes can pull off all year round and still have that boldness, Gucci Intense Oud is delicious. Next one. Someone like me should not be wearing this fragrance. That's why there's barely any use out of this joint. You have to dress up to the nines. You gotta be classical. You gotta be with a nice big brim hat, beautiful sports coat, a nice pair of dress pants, the perfect socks. The belt's gotta be on point. You gotta be a fashioned out debonair individual in their 40s because Encre Noir à l'extrême. Dry man. It sounds crazy. Ultra dark, ultra masculine, performs incredible, was affordable at one point. I have no idea what the price point is, nor do I care because I own it. Rich, smoky, dry, deep, woody, masculine, green, mature, seasoned, thought-provoking. Sit down, shut up while I speak to you, young one, educate you on the laws of the land and how I've been divorced 14 times and you should never get married, but please feel free to spread your seed all over the world irresponsibly. I never met my dad. Sounds traumatic, doesn't it? I did say Papa was a Rolling Stone. An incredibly elegant, super sophisticated, very classy scent profile that is nothing but rich resinous with a nice little green element, but it's super dry and definitely leans more on the classical route, but we're talking about man's man fragrances, right? We're not talking about little boy scents, are we? So this joint right here, craziness. Next one. Fam, how we gonna talk about masculine scents and the shit's got gunpowder in it? The Dawn by Xerjoff. Gunpowder in it. The shit smells like concrete, bad decisions, gun smoke, GSR residue, and 14 felonies. Hi, Rikers Island, San Quentin, Folsom State Prison, Attica, 80X. Cuba, why are you mentioning so many prisons? I googled it. Nah, legit, this shit is crazy. An incredible scent that is... I mean, you get the masculinity right out of this joint. This is a dude who just caught 2 bodies and finished smoking a cigar over the corpse's torso while ashing out on their chest. Can you get a better interpretation of a manly scent than that? That sounds crazy. Never mind, next one. In the designer space, this has to be up there with legendary masculinity. Tom Ford Ombre Leather Parfum. How many times have you heard about this fragrance? How many times have you passed by a department store and seen this on the display? Potentially with limited quantities, because this joint sells like hotcakes. One of the most incredible Tom Ford leather fragrances in the space. When it comes to designer and availability, this joint is fantastical. Ultra rich, very masculine, a beautiful leather note. Separates itself from Tuscan leather, as this one doesn't contain as much of that sweet element or that raspberry type nuance that the other one did. But this one, for me, just rings a little bit better, just speaks to my kind of language. And when I'm talking about a designer fragrance with massive availability, this one absolutely has to be on the list. And finally, not going to be a fragrance that's for everybody, because I enjoy a cannabis note. I mean, that screams to my New Yorkness. You gotta have a little bit of a weed essence, as I lived in one of the capitals of marijuana. Wash Heights represent. That's bad Boy Le Parfum, baby. This is just green cannabis notes, hard citrus. I find it to be an attractive scent profile, but I could see how some people may be swayed by it. You really gotta enjoy green, dirty, musky, haraka, skunky scent profile with some brightness and spiciness. The dry down is where it's at with this fragrance, because it does provide an element of leather and, well, more suede-ish energy off of my skin, which I think is absolutely sexy. So if you like a marijuana scent in the designer space, or are just curious about it, this might be something you can go to a department store, spray on your skin, and see if that cannabis note really speaks to you. It's a very interesting green note that is extremely polarizing. It's either you rock with it or you don't. But masculine, this shit definitely is. I mean, I've given you a very unique, exclusive, ultra masculine list of man's man fragrances that you should absolutely at least try on your skin and see if it speaks to your personality, your fit, your character trait, or your overall persona. I love y'all mother suckers from the heart. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all stitches next time. You know who it is, biggest in the game. Smooches.
Don't play. Hey, for all the chicks that got dead in the penthouse suite on top of my mom's crib. It's nonsense you never get in. It's nonsense that you would think that you would.